All right, so here we're solving a application problem dealing with a system of equations with two variables. And you notice we want to find the cost of a team photo and the cost of an individual wallet photo. So the first thing I'm going to do is just define those variables of what I'm looking for. Um, so the first thing, I'm looking for the cost of a team photo and the cost of a single wallet photo. So I'll just let that cost of a team photo equal X and the cost of a single wallet photo equal Y. So the next step is to come up with our system that relates these variables together. So the system comes from the basically the total cost of the first package. So if they went and bought one team photo and 8 individual wallets, the cost would be a total of $29. So if I add the two together, I should get $29. So the cost of one team photo, so that would be X, and then the cost of 8 individual wallets. So since one wallet costs Y, then 8 of them would be 8 times Y, and that total cost would be 29. So the second package gives us the other relationship. There's 2 team photos, so if I add together, that package should be 35.50, and it's 2 team photos, so I need to take 2 times X, and 1 wallet, so that'd be just Y, equals 35.50. So here's our setup. It comes from the two packages, so we just need to solve. So when I solve this, maybe we could use substitution for this one. We could assign y equaling negative 2x plus 35.50. So we're going to solve the bottom equation for y. In this expression then, we're going to substitute into the top equation for y. So if I do this substitution, I should have x plus 8 times that expression for y. So I need parentheses negative 2x plus 35.50, and that should equal 29. So I'm going to go through and solve this. I'll distribute the 8. I get x, and then this would be a negative 16x. 8 times 35.50, if I multiply that together, that comes out to be 284, and that should equal 29. So I'm going to subtract the 284 from both sides and simplify the left side. X and negative 16x is negative 15x. And if I take away 284 from 29, I get negative 255. So dividing by negative 15, it looks like I'm getting x equals, and I'll just move it over here so it doesn't run out of the screen, x equals 17. So I'm going to take the x equals 17 and just plug it into my substitution equation to find y. So y should equal negative 2, and then times that 17, that's the x, plus 35.50. So I get y equals negative 34 plus 35.50. So it looks like y equals, and if 34 from 35.50 would just be 1.50. So my answer, and I'm just going to move up here and write my answer. I basically need to take my values here for x and y and go back to what I was looking for. So x is 17, and that's the cost of a team photo. So each basically team photo or team photos cost $17 each, and then wallet size photos, oops, can't spell, cost, and 1.50 would be $1. 50 each. So just, again, when you're answering the question, just make sure you're answering it with respect to the problem. So go back to what you defined, and we can do that. All right, this next problem is an interest problem. It's talking about two investments. So with interest, we need to define the rate, the principal, which is P, and then the interest from each bank. So I'm just going to start out. I got these two rectangles representing the banks, and I'm going to label them with the interest rates. So the banks are the investments, right? So this would be the 7% and the 6%. So the principal, I'm actually looking for how much is invested in each rate, right? So I'm just going to let X and Y represent how much is invested at each rate. So underneath the 7% bank, I have X, so that's how much is invested there. And underneath the 6% bank, I have Y. I still need to define the actual interest. So the interest is equal to the principal times the rate. So for each one of these, I'm going to take the rate, change it to a decimal, so it would be 0.07, and multiply that by the principal for that bank, which is in this case X. Then for the Y, for the 6% bank, it would be 0.06 times how much is invested at that rate. So now I have expressions. Basically, this is all step one. I have expressions defining rate, principal, and interest from each bank. So our system of equations comes from relating the principal together. So if the principal is X and Y, what do I know about those values? So it says the total investment was $22,000. So I know that if I take X plus Y, I'm going to get $22,000. And then the interest, if I look at the interest, it says that receives an annual income. Well, that means the total interest is $1,420. So if I take the interest 0.07x plus 0.06y, I should get the total interest, which is 1,420. All right, so there's the setup. And now I want to solve these. So the first thing I'm going to do to solve is get rid of the decimal points in my second equation. So I'm going to clear decimals here. I'm going to multiply the bottom equation by 100 on both sides and rewrite my system. So I'm going to try and do this a little smaller, but the top equation is X plus Y equals 22,000. The bottom equation then becomes 7X plus 6Y equals 1420 times 100, which is 14,200. Right, so now my decimals are gone. So now I want to choose to solve this system, and I'm going to use elimination. So again, I'm going to adjust the top equation. If I multiply the top equation by -6 on both sides and rewrite my system, the top equation becomes -6 times x, or -6x. -6 times y is -6y, and that's going to equal -6 times 22,000, which is -132,000. And that's going to equal the bottom the equation, which is 7x plus 6y equals 14,000, or excuse me, equals 142,000, sorry. So I should have up here, this is 142,000 when I multiply 1420 times 100. I needed to add 2 zeros there. So now when I add these two equations together, the y terms will be eliminated, and I'll be left with just x equals, and then -132,000 and 142,000 is 10,000. So I'm going to take that x equals 10,000 and bring it all the way back here to substitute to find y. So I got 10,000 plus y equals 22,000. So I get y equals 22,000 minus 10,000, which is 12,000. So I got my two answers from algebra. So what's the answer to the question? So I want to find how much is invested at each rate. So X is 10,000. So it looks like I'm going to invest $10,000 at the 7% rate. And I'll invest the $12,000 at the 6% rate.